Oh, please, Sam. I thought we weren't. You show up in his room late at night with soft lights in the background. What you expect to happen, girl? Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we're back with another reaction to Cobra Kai. We're now on to episode 7 of season 2, which is called Lull. So in the last episode of Cobra Kai, we had kind of a nostalgic time for Johnny. He met up with some of his high school buddies who were pretty famous from the first movies. And unfortunately, there was a tragedy that struck in that one of his friends, unfortunately, it was his last hurrah with his friends. But again, I think that whole experience was to teach Johnny a little bit more about what's important and living a life that's a little bit more valuable and purposeful going forward. And in the meantime, we have Kreese, who's been left alone with the kids for entirely too long. And he's already slowly but surely peeling away the good things that Johnny's trying to build up in them and just sneaking in all that terrible Cobra Kai stuff that got him in trouble in the first place. So we're seeing that the chessboard pieces are moving around. We're starting to get back into firm corners here, but the difference is now that Cobra Kai is no longer just one voice. We've got Kreese's voice and Johnny's voice against, of course, the reason of Miyagi-Do. So I'm ready to jump into this episode, but before I do, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I hope that you like what you see and you'll think about hitting that subscribe button, or if at least that like button, because the like button really helps the algorithm, which helps me a lot. And if you've been here before, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. Hopefully today will be the day that you'll hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified when I do more reactions to this show, as well as many others in the same vein. All right, that out of the way, guys. Let's get into the episode right about now.
You've been doing a lot for us, not to mention getting punched in the stomach.
No problem.
It's gonna be like that. I'll be there. Don't worry.
All right. I love you.
I don't think you're really hearing what she's telling you. One of your employees was assaulted by somebody, and that person's not in jail.
I guess the early bird catches the worm.
Trespassing!
You may think you got the best of Johnny Lawrence, but I promise you,
Okay.
this time I won't let him lose.
All right. Exactly.
This isn't war.
Right? Come back to reality, Kreese. The way I would have taken that and put it out in his face.
Regards to Mr. Miyagi.
Keep it up. You really just aren't going to stop until Daniel puts his entire foot in your ass. You wanted to break it off in there because honestly, I want it to happen. I'm usually not against violence against the for violence against the elderly, but in this case.
Well, I spent some time organizing the place. Bills were unpaid and invoices were backed up.
He was in the military. It is a side effect.
If he says it's okay, then and only then is it okay.
The pandering. Sorry, I'm rolling my eyes a lot when Kreese talks because manipulators are like my biggest pet peeve. They're the things that get under my skin more than anything.
It's so hot out. I'm sweating in places I didn't even know I had pores.
Why are you wiping on her? This is why you don't have a girlfriend.
Today you are going to experience Shochu Geiko.
Which is?
Like the car insurance?
Shochu Geiko is a Japanese
That's what I'm calling those lizards from now on. Geckos.
Today we're going to see what Miyagi-Do is made of.
He's not completely wrong, but I hate that, again, Kreese manipulated him into doing this and reacting. In many ways, Daniel's just as susceptible as Johnny is to this type of manipulation.
Yeah, you know what? I just decided to flip the script. Hawk style. Respect.
It looks
You're
like
too
ew. It's not cool when you do it.
Dimitri, get in there.
You can do it, Dimitri.
Set.
Even if you can't fight, you'll learn how to take a kick to the stomach.
Thanks.
Wow, 3 spins.
No hard feelings.
No mercy.
I legit would have just taken my headband off and been like, here. Gonna go get some lunch.
If you lean into the cold, it will heighten your senses. And then you'll anticipate the moment before your opponent strikes, and you'll always be ready.
Remember lunch with Anoush? Yeah.
Hey, you've reached Daniel LaRusso. Sorry I can't come.
It's very hard to balance 2 priorities. That's why you can't do it. You have to make one your priority. I understand Daniel wanting to do this, and this is kind of one of those deeper questions around your passion versus like your vocation. Ideally, they're the same thing, but Daniel's gonna have to pick one or find a better way to balance what he's got.
Guess I earned my Medal of Honor.
Thieving bitch. Why are we fighting? We should be making out.
Dimitri, this isn't about who's fastest and who's strongest. This is about instincts. It's about using what's in here. You think you could do that?
Or try? Because you're not trying. When you start your round with, here goes nothing, you've already told yourself you're going to get hit. But I love that Daniel takes his time with him and doesn't just give up and get frustrated, because God knows I am. Good job! You see what happens when you actually believe in yourself? Yeah! There we go. I mean, one step at a time. We'll take the win with the loss.
You want the medal so bad? Come and take it.
Gladly. Might take a few teeth, some ribs, maybe a vital organ or two while I'm at it. Why? Because that's Mr. Miyagi's, you bastard! You know nothing of pain. Is that all you got, is the question. Thank you. I'll take that too. The way I would have kicked him one more time for good measure just because I'm petty. See, in that particular case, I didn't mind it. Normally, I would have been mad. But Hawk asked for that.
This isn't a tournament. This is real life. Is that how you want to live your life?
I like it, asking pointed questions.
I like the heat.
Ooh, he said, don't you dare leave the kitchen, girl.
I thought we were.
Oh, please, Sam. I thought we weren't. You show up in his room late at night with soft lights in the background. What you expect to happen, girl? We players, you know. Girls be players. We be trying all that stuff. Like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. What? How did we end up here? I have no idea how we ended up in this place.
Well, sometimes when you focus on one thing, you lose focus of everything else that matters.
Yes, but it's more so, you know, I've heard an expression saying, you know how like even in this scene right here, the human eye can only actually focus on one thing, right? If we focus on something, everything else gets a bit blurry. That's kind of the way we have to do things. We can only focus on one thing truly at once, but it doesn't mean we can't like prioritize what we focus on. And that's really what needs to happen here is a prioritization.
Tell Sam I said sorry.
Maybe. Probably not though. But I do respect him for bringing the medal back. Oh, Robbie. Oh, Robbie, you should know that if she really wants to be with you, it won't matter if Miguel does these gestures now. Wouldn't you rather have a girl that's actually into you?
Cobra Kai will always be badass. But there's a difference between no mercy and no honor.
I don't see any medals for you, Kreese. Not a one. Not one.
I'm responsible for these students.
And I am responsible for you. You are still my...
Excuse you, sir. I'm literally in my 50s. What? Johnny, let this man know that you are grown a couple times over.
I'm sorry. I thought this could work, but I was wrong.
Get out!
We're done.
He just broke up with you. Ooh. Dumped by Johnny Lawrence. Oh, the shame of it. You hate to see it. Take your ugly ass photo and get... Bye. No, don't look at me. Bye. No, the door's that way. Thank you. Bye. Exits to your left, even though I pointed to my right. I don't want to talk about it. You should have done that like 3 episodes ago, but at least you did finally catch on. Whew. Well, guys, that was the episode Lull, and I love, again, seeing the differences, again, between Cobra Kai under Kreese and Miyagi-Do. I really like that they showed how, like I brought up in the episode, that Kreese has this ability to manipulate. Like I said, he is a master manipulator, like master. If there was a master class in manipulating, my guy would be teaching it, because the way he showed up in Daniel's dojo, knowing what that would mean to him, knowing how upsetting it would be for Daniel, because we all know that he has trashed things that were valuable to Daniel in the past and Mr. Miyagi in the past. But coming there, dropping his challenge, bringing up Miyagi's name, which, as you saw, you saw his entire back get up with that, because that is his dad. You know what I'm saying? For all intents and purposes, that is his father. And the fact that Kreese is still breathing and being an ass when Miyagi is not here, that in itself is an insult. So the fact that he did that, and again, Daniel's response to it was to drop everything and decide to teach his kids to be more aggressive or ready for a fight at any time. And I don't completely disagree with it, in the sense of Kreese did like warn him that he was going to basically teach the kids to target Miyagi-Do. And we all know that in the past, Kreese has done this before. But Daniel, again, you know, he keeps kind of going through this cycle of remembering why he's doing this and then falling back into old habit, right? Because in the last couple episodes, we saw him saying, no, Miyagi-Do is about finding balance. It's about defense. It's about the art of karate and not just, you know, looking for a fight. But then he lets Kreese goad him like this. And then he kind of loses focus and goes back into like that defensive, I got to get one over on Johnny and Cobra Kai mindset again. And it just kind of becomes this cycle. And you know, while, like I said, it's not all bad that they're learning to be a bit more ready for a fight and even a little bit offensive, it's still not the true way that he wanted to teach this, right? So he's just gotta, you know, like Johnny, like I said, they're both susceptible to Kreese. Kreese knows how to play mind games. He's very good at doing them. But Daniel's got to get to a point where he stops playing Kreese's game and just kind of lets him go. Like Miyagi never let Kreese goad him. And Kreese tried. Right? He tried hard, but Miyagi never gave him the satisfaction of a response in that way. If Kreese came looking for a fight, Miyagi would just do as much was necessary to end the fight, and that was it. But he never gave Kreese the satisfaction of lowering himself to his level. So Daniel needs to kind of take some more lessons from Miyagi in that light, just because, again, Kreese will always go lower. You know what I'm saying? It's not a matter of backing down, but, you know, no matter how low Kreese is, he definitely will keep going. So yeah, he just has to remember that what he's doing and what he's teaching has nothing to do with Kreese and nothing to do with Cobra Kai, or at least it shouldn't. And until he learns how to divorce those two things, he's going to keep falling into this trap. And then conversely, Johnny seeing the outcome of Kreese's effect after only a few days of being away. The kids, of course, are getting even more ruthless. Even Miguel's showing a little bit of that cutthroat attitude that he didn't like. But we know that Miguel is not quite the same as Hawk. Like Hawk, of course, is just completely, you know, he's rubber banded from one side to, you know, one extreme to the next as far as this whole bully versus bullied. And I mean, I'm not mad at him for that situation in the forest, like I said in the episode, because Hawk had no right to steal that medal. It was very disrespectful. Like, I'm not big into military, but I understand what those medals mean to people and the sentimental value that it has. And for him to just take something like that, especially considering what people have to do to get them, is like just the height of disrespect. So I had no problem with him getting kicked in the face. That's the least he deserved for that, especially since the entire dojo had to suffer for it too. But obviously the underlying issue is that Miguel is allowing himself to do things that would have been considered completely out of line in the beginning of season 1 for him, right? So I like, though, that Johnny didn't necessarily come at his throat when he saw him do that. He just kind of asked Miguel the question, is this the kind of person you want to be? And Miguel knows deep down that that's not him. So I like that he did the right thing by bringing the medal back to Robbie, or back to Sam, or tried to. And then, of course, we saw a little bit of Robbie and Sam. Sam's got a bit of a crush, but it's very much a rebound thing. Like, I can tell it's very much a rebound thing. The fact that she still talks about Miguel and, you know, just had a phone call with him earlier in the season, like, it's not over there. But poor Robbie, you know, I understand why in the end he hid the medal and didn't want to tell her what happened. He feels like things are falling in place for him for the first time in a very long time, if ever. And, you know, he knows that deep down, the fact that he hid that medal says that he knows that Sam is not over Miguel yet. And he was trying to kind of circumvent that. But yeah, he's a little young to know. But eventually, if those two really like each other, they will find their way back to each other, medal or no. So hopefully he'll do the right thing. You know, we want him to do the right thing and actually be honest with Sam, because that will, if anything, if there's a question of fighting over Sam's heart, that would be a step in the right direction for him rather than keeping secrets. Overall, another great episode. I love this show. I love going through it again, and I enjoyed watching this episode a lot. And if you guys enjoyed watching along with me, please give this video a thumbs up, and we will see you in the next video.